Okay guys, I'm going to look at oil. There's not a lot going on in the window of the world, and it seems the logical choice, and I also want to do it for Kojak. So a little salute to you, kid. Let's roll the intro and we'll get into this. And a warm welcome, one and all. We're going to look at oil, and I'm going to kind of talk you through a little bit about what I'm doing. Let me just flick the chart over. I've already been into my small accounts this morning. I'm done with them, which is here. So I use a BlackBull. I use it for the leverage. If you want to try it, there is a link below. It's very good. Now this particular one, I was looking at gold this morning and I looked for the quick snap, got it, and then that's that job done, and this account is growing quite nicely. Now I do this before 9 o'clock and then I look at my wage account after 9 o'clock. Now I keep the guys updated in the squad as well. So if I pull this down, if you want to see how I trade, it's there in the way of the scruff. I am toying with putting this on a website because one thing that's happened is there's a lot of people, because of their location, can't get access to this because this is run by YouTube, and I have no say in it. But if I put it on a website, I can make it global. So drop it in the comments if you're interested. I'll do it. If not, it doesn't really matter. But in here, I do the market updates, and what I'm doing all the time is I'll tell them what I'm looking at. So I'm looking at this morning I was looking at cable. Didn't quite go to plan. I had to pull out just before the news announcement at 8 o'clock, or the open rather. But I still got a pip out of it. And what I do is I kind of tell them what it is that I'm looking at right the way through. Okay, looking at the FTSE. It hasn't come into players yet. Might be a few hours for that. But at the moment, what I'm now looking at is this, and I'm kind of looking to buy it. Now, I'll put this onto a bigger screen for you. Let me just flip that in and we can have a little look at it. So, I'm done with cable at the moment. The FTSE, I'm still waiting on it. But the oil is looking pretty darn good, and it's got a half-decent target. So, well, why not? It is in a bear market, so I've got to be a bit careful because I'm counter trending against it. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Well, it is starting to push up. I can see that. It is quite high in the marketplace, so maybe a 20 pip target is a bit ambitious. But what we're going to do is we're going to drop in an order above the current candle, and we're going to put in about 15 pips. I'm going to scale it back. I know it said 20 odd, but because it's stretched to buggery, right? Oh, it's gone into market straight away, champion. And you can see that through this pulse here. It might be a bit tough, but I'm prepared to average that pulse, and then from there get back to here. So I'll probably still get my pips the way I want it. But let's break this down slightly. Go out to the hourly. We're going to take that blue line off because we don't need that. What are we essentially looking at? Well, we can see a definitive top and a definitive bottom down here, and then the market is consolidated across the bottom. Okay, now it's caught between two golden points. This is what's called golden eye. It's the system that I'm using, but it's also a little bit of a Kylie as well. And what we can see now, it's attacked the 23 here. It's had a good pulse through it and then come back and closed close to it. So it's kind of shown its hand, and then it's never made a new low. So in other words, the market has to kind of push back. So I'm assuming it's pushing back against this move. Now there's a move inside a move. There's a secondary move inside it, which is here, this one. Okay, you can see it's a big gusto down, it's come down, and then we got the pulse up. So what I want to see now is how that has reacted. So if I move that down, well, what do you know? It went straight to 50% to the pip, which is what we look for. Okay, the target point that I've just put in is bang on that 38, crossing through this 23. So that's the premise of the trade. That's why I've put the target where it is, and it's what I'm going to stick with. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'll just put a couple of levels in so I can see them, lower down the time frames, just like so, bish bash bosh, onto there. That's my target, and then there's my entry point. Okay, so that's fully mapped up. I can see exactly what's going on. I've got a big picture view, which you've seen on this sheet. Okay, so there's a little bit of a bias tool engine. If you're part of the Scruffy Squad and a rogue member above, you get the bias tool and it'll work out this section of the sheet, and it'll tell you exactly how to run the trade. And all you have to do is just follow it. And then from there into there. Now, as I move this down, take it into a 15-minute chart, like I say, you've got a solid here, a solid there. This is targeting roughly into what's called a golden eye zone. They know exactly what that is. And all I have to do is just target into it. And that's all I'm going to do. Now, earlier on, I've done nothing, as you can see. And the only trade running is this, and I shouldn't have any tickets running. So there you are. So it's a clean sweep. What you see is what you get. Okay, and let's just play it out, see what happens. Okay, cashed out. Let me just check my tickets. There you go, 75 quid. So that'll keep me going till I get into the next trade. That's done for this hour. If you just bear with me, I'll just show you where it came from. Because I don't do these things willy-nilly. I do it because of requests. So let me just pull this in so that we can see. If we come down, requests and help, there you go, there's Kojak. That was done for you, kid. And the premise was correct. So up, targeted bang onto that level. Look, it's stalling at it now. It may well push through, but it's stretched. That was the key level to look at, and the target was spot on. So I guess it poses a question. Is trading really hard? No, it's not. But if you're looking for the magic formula of X marks the spot, I get it all the time, and I often sort of have meetings with guys, and they're always, well, how do you get in? What's the criteria to get in? What's the structure? What, are you using a moving average cross? Are you using an RSI cross? Are you using this? No, I'm not using any of it. I look at it to give a guide, but that's all they ever are, a guide. That price and the structure of the market tells me what I need to know. Now, if you took levels from a daily chart, drilled it down to an hourly chart, took your bias from the hourly, and then looked at a smaller time frame with an expected target, and I do stress expected target, you've probably got yourself a 70-75% system. Now, when it goes wrong, you need a management system to capitalize on that. Now, a lot of the time trades do go wrong. So I use a system called Madness, DCA, dollar cost averaging to two, and it's based on 2 fixed points. I don't carve the market. I don't sort of get stopped out. I had a conversation with a chap. Oh no, you got to have a very tight stop. It's got to be tight stop, and you have to have 3 to 1. Well, I looked at his trades. He was stopped out 6 times on a 10 pip stop. So that's 60 pips against him, and then he got 3 to 1. And he thought he was up. And I said, well, it's just cost you 60 pips to get 30. You're still down. That's why you're not moving anywhere. If you dollar cost averaged into that, you'd have spent less, had another shot at it, and you'd have probably made money. But this is the art of trading. The art of trading is reading a chart, but more importantly, it's managing a chart and a realistic expectation. If you haven't got them, you're probably just gambling. And gamblers never survive. Always think about it. You walk in a casino, who makes the money? It ain't you. Always think long term. Always think what's realistic, and then play within them rules. Your stop has one job. It's got nothing to do with risk reward. And I'm tired of getting pulled apart about this. I have a wider stop than what most have. 10 pips, you're inviting the market to take money off you. You always are. So use it effectively. There's a difference between a super wide stop that's a haymaker and take you out, and a sort of reasonable stop. It's too tight, death by 1,000 cuts. Too big, haymaker takes you out. You want somewhere in the middle, and then you need to be able to manage that stop as well. That's what I do. So my criteria of trade is all methodical, it's all planned, and you see me do it every day. And it's how I've built up my accounts. But of course, everybody's an expert, and I've only done this 20 years, so what the fuck do I know? But there you go. There's that chart. It was live, and it's turned bang on the point. So like I say, what do I know? Clearly nothing. But if you think I do know something, or you just like the entertainment, do subscribe. Really motivates me to carry on. And that's about it, really. So obviously that was a great day. And as always, trade well, keep your risk managed. But above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.